Salute, man. You know, real quick video. Now I'm getting out y'all ways to boxing nocturnal thoughts, man. It's a beautiful day. Uh, the mind state of Teofimo Lopez, the takeover, the makeover, the retaking, whatever he calling himself. First of all, I didn't like some of the promo him and Teofimo Lopez Sr. was doing. Like he was hitting the heavy bag and the heavy bag was just exploding. I really didn't like that because I didn't like the mindset to me that was showing. You know what I'm saying? It just looked way too fugazi. I'd rather just see him working on some fundamentals and doing some whatever he do in his real training. Because if that's what he doing in his real training, that was more like, to me, that was just more like a show. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at me hit this heavy bag and shit is exploding. It just didn't look authentic. It didn't look like, that looked like they did that a couple of times just for the camera. And I just didn't like that. But you never know. You know what I'm saying? Tyson Fury was doing something similar where he was hitting the heavy bag and the whole ceiling collapsed. And, you know, his mind state was just fine when he went in there and fought Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder was doing montages of him jumping in the lake or the ocean or the river or whatever he was in, a big body of water. He jumped in the water, come up throwing combinations and shaking out his hair and, you know what I'm saying, super flexing and everything like that. And he went out there and went out on his shield, but his mind state was that of going out on his shield. So I salute Teofimo Lopez for getting back on the horse, getting back into the fight after he came up short against George the Ferocious Kambosos. But at the same time, he still does sound like he hasn't come to full terms of him losing to George the Ferocious Kambosos. But I kind of understand it because he did mount a comeback. He did drop Kambosos in the later rounds, but he was clearly beat. He was beat, and he should, if he's real with the man in the mirror, and he says to himself, man, I lost that fight, but at the same time, in the public eye and everything like that, I gotta put on the show. Like, this is still the TAKEOVER show. So if he's crafty enough to not let the right hand know what the left hand is doing, and when he's being real with himself, he knows, man, I just didn't come out there with the right game plan. I came out there, I threw all the caution to the wind, thought I was gonna knock this dude out in the first round, and it just backfired. If he's being able to be real with himself, but then when he's going in front of everybody and saying, I didn't lose, man, you know what I'm saying, I really know I won that fight, and Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, and they all of them guys, they paid for their success. I got mine the hard way. I'm getting mine out the mud, all of that. I eat with my hands. I don't know. We're going to find out in this fight he has tonight against Pedro Campo. I think he's probably going to win. But even if he wins off this fight, to me, that's just taking one step into getting back into having for real confidence. Right now, I think right now his confidence is somewhat fractured. And he better watch his step, because if he takes the wrong step, man, I just see everything underneath him collapsing like a you know what I'm saying, a tower of cards, man, or a booby trap on Indiana Jones. When you step on the wrong step, man, everything just crumbles and you falling down and you ain't gonna be able to ever make, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens in this fight. I think he can win this fight, and that'd be a good way to get his footings, his bearings, but it's still not enough. Even if he wins big, even if he goes, I would rather see him go 12 hard rounds and win than him go out there and blow this dude out and knock him out. You know, Teofimo Lopez went up in weight. I think he weighed in at like 138, which I thought wasn't what I was expecting, because he was complaining so much about making 135, that he was so big and everything like that. I thought I was going to see him come in at a straight full 140 pounds solid. But we gonna see how the turn of events reveal what mind state, what physical state, and everything like that for Teofimo Lopez. But I just wish at the same time he would have just already came to terms with his loss, gave credit to Kambosos, gave credit to Devin Haney, and mounted a comeback, taking one step at a time with the right mindset of I took this fight with Kambosos and it didn't go my way, but one step at a time, one punch at a time, I'm gonna grind and get back to the top. Instead of just thinking I can just jump over everybody and fight a Josh Taylor, or I'm just, you know what I'm saying, I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread, and that little loss I took really wasn't a real loss. It really just was a conspiracy to set up Devin Haney. And you know, when he's talking like that, then I lose a little bit more confidence in his ability to ever really come back to the top. Like, you know what I'm saying, he was a front runner. He was out there in front of all those guys when he beat Lomachenko, and then he fought with George, and that was supposed to be a showcase fight, and it just set him all the way back. And I think that it just didn't, he just never has, you know what I'm saying, been able to process that loss. I think he just went into some of the same traps that boxers go into when they take a loss, and they don't focus on what they need to do to make the adjustments to win, to stay winning, not just come back and win one time or come back and lose. Like J-Rock lost, came back, won, and he lost again. You never seen him again. I want to see if Teofimo Lopez can put on a consistent, you know what I'm saying, go back on a run and get back up to the top the hard way, and then challenge somebody like a Regis Progress or Josh Taylor, or a legitimate opponent at 140. I don't know, man. I don't see him right now. I don't see nobody messing with Regis Progress right now. But that's just my thoughts. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. This is Boxing Nocturnal Thoughts. Teofimo Lopez, you know, I wish you nothing but success in his upcoming fight. And hopefully, after he wins, he don't just be like, I'm back. Like, no, that's just one step back. You know, you took a lot of steps back. You took a huge step forward when you fought Vasily Lomachenko, and then you took a big step back when you lost to George Kambosos, and now you got Ryan Garcia and Tank and Devin Haney. They lapping you. You know what I'm saying? Even though you moved to 140, you still coming off of a loss, and you're not accepting your loss for what it was. I don't know. Even if you win this fight, Teofimo Lopez, to me, you still have a very long way to go. But salute to you, and good luck to you. And I still think Teofimo Lopez is a hell of a fighter. But if he can get his mind right and not let his personal life affect him in the ring so much, or use that as a crutch, if he comes up short in the ring, then I think he can go a lot further. Because I think he's a hell of a fighter, but there's certain things mentally that just baffle me, because there's no way in the world he really should have lost that fight to George the Ferocious Kambosos. If he would have had the right game plan, I think he would have won, and he would have been in a totally different position. You know what I'm saying? So now that he took a loss, for him to jump up to 140, I don't mind that part of it. But when he does an interview and he starts talking in a delusional mind state, then I say he ain't ready yet. He's not ready to make the adjustments. You know what I'm saying? Like, just make the proper adjustments. I don't think the adjustments was necessarily with his weight. I think his adjustments really should be with going back to the drawing board and having the game plan. Because the reason why he lost that fight to me was abandoning any form of having a game plan. And his father was not properly giving him, his father was like just being a hype man, and kind of just wasn't giving him any advice to make adjustments during that fight. When he was losing, he was just watching the son lose, and he couldn't come up with any kind of a game plan, or he should get a real trainer that could keep him disciplined and focused on game plans and also being able to make adjustments in the ring. You know what I'm saying? You can't just knock everybody out, and you can't just let your win against Vasily Lomachenko go to your head and define the type of fighter you are. You know what I'm saying? You got to take each fight just as serious as you took the Vasily Lomachenko fight and go in there and fight smarter, not harder. But we'll see how he looks in this fight. I don't think he's going to come out here trying to just knock this guy out, but I would like to see whether or not if this guy can make him revert back to making some of those rookie mistakes and capitalize off of them. Because if Teofimo Lopez loses in this fight, I think it's over. You know what I'm saying? I think it's over for him. But if he wins the way I want him to win, I think it'll be a good step. And I don't think if he goes in there and just knocks this dude out, I'm not buying that. You know what I'm saying? If he go in there and knock this dude out, it's just gonna go straight to his head, and then I think he can go in there with a real fighter and lose again. But if he goes in there and just grinds it out and beats this dude the old school hard way, one punch at a time, you know what I'm saying? This dude is tough, and he can't just use his power to knock him out of there, and he got to box him, and he got to be creative, and he got to make adjustments. Then if he fights that type of a fight where he's towing and grinding and making adjustments and coming out victorious after going through the fire, then I say that would be one big step for him to get his mind back into what he needs to do to become a champion and take on these fights one fight at a time up to the championship fight again. That's my thoughts. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Sorry this video stretched out as long as it did. Bow, bow, bow. Salute. I'm gone.